Father, we give you honor. Father, we give you adoration for another time in your presence.
Amen.
Father, we thank you for the things you've done.
Amen.
Father, we appreciate you for the things you are doing.
Amen.
Father, we give you all the awesomeness that you are about to do for us.
Amen.
Thank you, mighty Father,
Thank you, Lord.
because of your will of that is made known in our life today.
Amen.
Thank you, mighty Father.
Thank you, Lord.
To you be all the glory,
Amen.
all the honor,
Amen.
all the majesty.
Amen.
In Christ's mighty name we worship.
Amen.
Let all of God's people declare aloud amen, please.
Amen.
You're almost welcome in the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen.
I believe all of us will have our updates on our devices as well as our mailboxes, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And I believe social media is all, please.
Yes.
Please turn your scriptures as usual to 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 8, please. 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 8. Are we there, God's people? I hope the reception is very clear where we are, please.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
You're welcome. Second Corinthians chapter 13, verse 8. It says, "For we all can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth." I repeat again, for we all can do nothing against the truth, but for
The
the
truth.
truth. You see if you can see what I'm sharing on your screen, you let me know, please. Second Corinthians chapter 13, verse. It says, "For we all can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth." Now, someone is saying that is the word "all" that I'm saying is not there. It's already implied by the word "we." The word "we" is an absolute word. It's an 100% word. It includes the writer, it includes the hearer, and it includes me that is sharing that truth. Now, what does that mean? Like I've been trying to tell us. What it means is that every one of us, whether we realize it or not, once it's about the truth, there's nothing anybody can do about it. So that means that if any of us know what we are doing, then we should find out what is the truth about our lives, about our situation, about what we're doing. What did I just say? And the reason why that is very important is because since you can't do anything against the truth, it's better you people know what the truth is. Know what you cannot do anything against. Know what will always come to pass. And that's why I endeavor to give you that because that is why I'm here. That's why I'm on now. That's the reason why I'm born. To tell humanity the truth. That is why you're not doing me a favor by hearing the truth. Because my purpose means I should tell you the truth. Does not mean you're doing me a favor. I'm doing you a favor. I'm doing myself a favor by doing what I'm here. It's your own self you're doing a favor when you embrace this truth. Because this truth will still come to pass, whether or not you believe it. Last service, we ended with a scripture. I'll read the scripture again. Tell you authoritatively what that scripture means. Then I will show you one or two scriptures today. Then we'll go to our updates. And if there's any question, we take it. Then thereafter, go. Proverbs 22 verse 16. That was where we ended the last service. I hope the reception is very okay where you are, please. Yes, sir. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 16. Proverbs 22, verse 15. So are we there, people of God, please?
Yes, sir.
That scripture, like I told us, which I'm reading out of now, says, "He that oppresseth the poor to succeed in life." That's what it means to increase his riches. And, or as well as he that giveth to the rich, both shall surely come to want. What it means is that both shall surely come to zero. And I explained to us on the last service that this truth that you have just seen now describes the story of Lazarus and the rich man. Listen to me, people of God. Even though both of them are together in the same situation on earth, it does not mean, please listen to this, it does not mean one caused the situation of the other person. What did I just say, please?
Both of them are in the same situation on earth does not mean one caused the situation.
And why is what I just said the truth? This scripture we just read explains what happened in the life of both of them. But you see, out of ignorance, out of religion, out of tradition, out of culture, out of custom, I repeat, out of ignorance, out of religion, out of tradition, out of culture or custom, those five, they will tell you, some will tell you that if you are in this life and you're poor, God destined it. That is a lie. That is what?
A lie.
And let me tell you this. Any genuinely called pastor that tells you that it's not going to go to heaven, but that's a lie. And it's not just a lie, it's actually an insult to God. When you say God is the one responsible for the way you turn out in life as an adult. What did I just say?
It's an insult to God when I say that God is responsible.
It's an insult to God. Stop saying it. for your own soul. Don't be in danger of missing heaven out of ignorance and stupidity. I've asked us, just like Christ asked people who are saying this when he was on earth. But people too went to Christ and they were saying, oh, Christ, you're the one responsible, or God is the one responsible. And Christ put it to them that if you, a human being, as a child, would your child ask you for food and you give him stone? Everybody said no. Now I'm asking you that same question. All of you that you are saying that God has a hand in the way you are now and the way you are going to turn out tomorrow and the way you have been yesterday as an adult. Please answer this question. If you are a parent and your child asks you for food, are you going to give your child stone?
No, sir.
Are you sure?
I'm sure, sir.
Good. Then Christ asks another question in case people like animals. Christ said, if your child asks you for fish, I believe all of us know what fish is.
Yes, sir.
Good. If any of us, our kid, asks us for fish, will you give them snake?
No, sir.
So do you see that?
No, sir.
It's bad enough you are ignorant. It's bad enough you are proud. It's worse that you are insulting God Almighty by saying God has a hand in the way you have turned out as an adult. Go read your scriptures, people of God. Stop all this insult. You have damaged your life enough. Don't damage humanity with your ignorance, with your pride, with your stupidity. How can you present God that until you pray? Listen to me, when you pray, hello people of God, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The reason why you pray, please listen to this. Don't let, in fact, after this statement, if you don't agree, show me from the scriptures why you don't agree. You get what I've just said to everybody?
Yes, sir.
After I make this statement, show me immediately from the scripture why you don't agree. The reason why you pray is to hear from God the thing you should do to change your situation that no natural source could have told you. That is the only time you pray. That is the reason why you pray. That is the reason why prayer is created by God. That's why you talk to him. But once it's something that you want to get here, that somebody out to tell you, either naturally or spiritually, pray from now till tomorrow, the only person that will talk to you is your flesh or Satan. Did you hear what I've just said? I should repeat it. And I want you, if you don't believe it, challenge me from the scriptures. Let me repeat that again. The only time you pray, because that's the only time God expects you to pray, is when there's something, not that God will do. I've told you we don't need God, it's God that needs us. Christ said it. He said the Father is looking for. You don't look for somebody you don't need.
That's true.
There's nowhere in the scripture. When God said, draw near to me and I will draw near to you, he wasn't talking about you serving him. He was talking about you doing why he put you here. He's challenging us. Do why you're here and see whether I will not back you up. See whether things will not work. That's what that scripture means. And that is why the only time you pray is when what you cannot get by human or natural sources, not as a miracle, but as what you should do that will change your situation. That is why you pray. But if it's a situation that a faithful minister is telling you the truth like me, you refuse to listen. Go and pray. Should I have told you, go back to those Tower of Babel. Some of you are happy. They said the government have lifted government. Well, hear it very well. They said it's all under the state government. You saw the government, all the state government, none of them said you are free to go there. All of them. Thank God for the wisdom of Mr. President. When you know this, and he has directed you to your state, and for you in the FCT, he has directed you to the FCT minister. Go and open those death camp. Go back there. I've told you, just tell your family members that you are going to commit suicide. There is no God that will protect you. Because life is run by laws. Amen. And God put you and I, adult human beings, in charge. Not him. It's a blasphemy to call upon God to come and do something or not. And that's why even when you pray, is to tell you God will answer you with what you need to do. That is why go and read the story of Solomon. Riches, naira and kobo, dollar and pound didn't fall on the table of King Solomon. Go and see his prayer. What did he ask for? He asked for wisdom. Do you know that Solomon is smarter than many of us God's children today? And that is somebody that wasn't saved. Because Christ has not come. That is somebody that doesn't have a recreated human spirit. Yet he had the common sense. He understood that life is about laws. He understood that God will not come down and do anything on earth. So when he prayed to God, he said, God, give me wisdom. Wisdom is knowledge that you're going to do. Applied knowledge. He said, God, give me wisdom. Let me know what to do that will make me to govern your people, that will make me to succeed in life. And God said, wow, this guy is smart. That you didn't ask the way some of you are asking, that is about your enemy. Mm-hmm. All those pastors are telling you, don't know that they are on their way to hell. Challenge me when we get to heaven. If you will be there with me, with your level of rebellion and stupidity. When we meet there, challenge me if you see any of these pastors telling you otherwise. If you see any of them in heaven. Forget popularity. No minister can then make themselves popular. It's the children of God following them that makes them popular. That is how it works. I've told you over the years that it is possible that the best minister in eternity, nobody ever heard of him. Because no 2 or 3 of children of God ever believed in him. Because somebody is so popular has nothing to do with whether the person is saying the truth. It's dependent on the level of idiots that follow him. People that don't use their brain. Once you use your grace and faith on somebody, that person will prosper at your expense. That is what Proverbs 22 verse 16 is saying. That when you give to the needy, you will come to zero. That's what happened to Lazarus. Lazarus was not destined to be poor. The same God that made Lazarus made the rich man. Everybody is saying the black man is cursed. Are you not the one that acting like a cursed person? How many of you invest in IQ of your children? How many of you invest in emotional well-being of your children? Many of us invest in idiocy of our children. You are raising your boys to become animals. You are raising your girls to become slaves. And you will say, Africa is cursed. The brain an African man has is the same brain that a white man has. The classification of blood, which is the highest in the body. The scripture says the life of all flesh is in the blood. There is none of the 4 groups of blood that is based on race or tribe or gender. That's why the only difference between you and a man as a woman is your body. Stop acting stupid. Because you have entered into a slave. Must you be in that slavery for life? Can the beast you call husband, can he save you? You wonder why I'm preaching with serious venom. Sometimes it's like that because some of you, your stupidity is too much. And let me tell you, after I'm telling you this truth, and you choose to be stupid, whatever happens to you, take it. Your blood is on your head. 1 Corinthians chapter 14 verse 8 said, any of you that choose to be ignorant, I should leave you to be ignorant. Christ told the apostles, who are preachers like me, he said, when you tell people the truth, they don't want you to shake the doors of you and leave them. That what Sodom and Gomorrah experienced will be better than them. We're saying these things. Some of you, you will say, I'm your pastor. You go back after the ministry of God and you'll be telling souls. People that see that because you are close to me. They want the truth from you. You will be on preaching. All the things. Your days are numbered. I'm not cursing you. Your action is going to curse you. Because the pit you are digging, you can't dig a pit for me. I'm the only one that can dig my own pit. Just like you are the one that can dig your own pit. You think it's me you are digging pit for. It's yourself you are digging pit for. Because the just shall live by his own faith. What you think is making you to prosper today is because you are relating with people and not using their brain. You are not the one that's making them poor. It's their ignorance. It's their religion. It's their rebellion. It's their tradition. It's their culture. It's their custom that is making them poor. Not the lies you are telling them. Not the backstabbing of ministers like me that is making them poor. It's their ignorance. It's their stupidity. Is they not using their brain? Not you. But your own is coming. Because look at the first part of that Proverbs 22. It says, he that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches. When you take advantage of people, when you tell people lies, you are gone. You are a virus. God is done with you. God has no covenant with liars. God has no covenant with people that backstab people. God has no covenant with people that take advantage of people's niceness, people's ignorance, people's accommodation, people's faith in you. We have entered the days of shaking. I've told you, I'm not prophesying, I'm not cursing, I'm just saying the truth. Very soon, COVID-19 will be better than what is coming. Continue. You want to destroy your life without fulfilling your purpose? Continue. Go back to that Tower of Babel. And for you, that you think I'm envious of you, please continue. Carry those men you call husband. Don't fulfill your purpose. Don't use your brain. Keep on serving them. Keep on believing their lies. And you, the men, to keep on taking advantage of the women. How can a society? Many of you are shouting about what is happening in the United States. Let me tell you this. That guy, Lord, he has a grace on him. That is why his blood being spilled is not going in vain. See, everything can be explained. But also, let me tell you, there is someone around you that made that possible. If not that there's something, a law was also fulfilled that took his life. Even though it had that grace on him that is creating this revival. But you are here, you are concerned. Yet you are here. Nobody must marry anybody outside your tribe. You are worse than what is happening in the United States. You are here. You are not embracing the truth. You carry things of this world. Listen to the greatest blessing in this world is marriage. Yet it doesn't have Christ in. Because you have a man in your life or a woman in your life doesn't guarantee heaven for you. In fact, many people would have made heaven if they didn't get married. Because culture, religion, tradition, and custom, especially for you women, some of you can't fulfill your purpose just because you're married. just because you have given your soul. I've told you before, that part of you that is smiling is your faith. That part of you that is in pain today is your faith. See, people of God, how many fingers did that put up?
3. 3 fingers.
Again, how many fingers did that put up?
3 fingers.
3 fingers, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now I want to tell you, there are 3 things your faith does. Some of you, it's these 3 things that are destroying you. But it's a product of your faith. It's not a product of heaven. It's not a product of hell. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
If today a situation makes you happy, if a situation today makes you angry, if a situation today makes you sad or hurt, please, people of God, never use these 3 things as a sign that you're online. Or never use it as a sign that you're in error. It's your faith that produces these 3 things. That's why you see people hear these truths and their life is liberated. You see people too hear this truth, they are sad. And you also have people who hear this truth who get angry with me. And they think the next thing they want to do is to take me down. If you are listening to me, you're a husband, you're a wife, you're a parent, you're a child to such people, and you are aware of what they better stop them or stay away from them. Because you cannot take somebody that is fulfilling his or her purpose down. Whenever you fulfill your purpose, you are the greatest of human being on earth. What did I just say, people of God?
Whenever I fulfill my purpose, I'm the greatest of human beings on earth.
And that is why I'm relaxed. And you too should get to that point of being relaxed. And I trust God, because that is my prayer now. That as long as you have had this truth and you know what you are doing, that I'll be strong enough to allow you to destroy yourself. Because the compassion I have for all of you, don't appreciate it. Many of you are so arrogant, you assume you are doing me a favor. For example, now why I joined the service, because there are things some of you are supposed to do, but you're not doing. But take it from that. I said, Lord, leave it. I'm not going to call you to do it. I'm not even going to ask you a question. Because not doing it, because you think you are doing me a favor, you are still going to do it. But because it's somebody fulfilling his purpose that you are supposed to do it for and with, you are going to end up doing it for and with somebody who is not fulfilling, and that's what will destroy you. But it's not that person that destroys you, it's your hand. Because none of us is neutral. Just like if I choose to tell you a lie, I'm destroying myself. But as long as I'm telling you the truth, I'm safe. So I hope you are getting these principles now.
Yes, sir.
So this is what this scripture means. It was Lazarus' choice to make himself a slave of the rich man. He has nothing to do with God, and he has nothing to do with Satan. And it was the rich man's choice to take advantage. If he's truly a rich man, what is he doing with his money instead of carrying Lazarus to the hospital? What is he doing with his money? I cannot get a house. Well, I want to do something happen. I want you to see, I want to write a figure on your screen. I would have given you this chart, but since I've not explained it, I said, let me explain it first. And when I explain it, then afterwards I can give you the charts on it. I hope you understand where I'm coming from.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I hope all of us can see what I'm writing on our screen. Now,
Yes, sir.
when it comes to faithfulness, when it comes to what?
Faithfulness.
When it comes to faithfulness,
There are 4 groups of people on earth. Just 4. Irrespective of grace, irrespective of faith. When it comes to faithfulness, there are only 4 of us. The first group, which is the best, I'm trying to think of a prime number I can give such people. I give them plus 1003. That's a prime number. And let me tell you why I use prime number. There are numbers that you can't find another type of it. You understand?
Yes, sir.
That's why I use prime number. I hope you got that, people of God.
Yes,
It's
sir.
not as if there's one magic on prime number. They are just unique. They stand alone forever. Okay? So that's why I normally use prime number to illustrate the relative influence in between entities of the truth. I hope you understand that, please.
Yes, sir.
For lack of better name, I call this group of people Superman stroke super woman. What did I say I call this group of people? You see men in bracket. Now why are you acting like I see people that they imported from the village? When I said superwoman or superman, that's why I put the men in bracket. You are not even pitying my hand, typing. You think it's that easy? You all slept throughout the night. I didn't. I still, because some of you are not going to do what you are supposed to do, I still join the service late. Now I'm under pressure trying to stay within time, and you are still not getting this thing. So I call this superwoman or superman. Did you get that, people of God? Please?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
I want to make it, I want you to be able to see it very well. Are we seeing it very well, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, next to that, I will just highlight them further. I will now tell you what they mean, okay?
Yes, sir.
These are the people that many of us are used to. What did I write? I hope I got this spelling right. It looks strange to me.
It means you. It means you.
Yes,
I know it's Queens. I'm just saying about the spelling. It's been a while I went to school. Okay. Are we not used to this time?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
There's some of you, it's only few people that are used to it, right?
I'm used to it, sir.
Who is a queen or who is a king? Let me see whether you are used to it.
They fulfill their purpose.
Beautiful.
Their purpose.
Once you are fulfilling your purpose, either as a man or as a woman or as a pastor, as a flock or as a handmaiden, you are a king or queen. So, in short, if I put faithful here, perfect. Clap for yourself. That means I'm not wasting time here. I didn't say clap for me. You are still angry. I said clap for yourself. You cannot clap. Okay. Will I tell you the truth?
Yes, sir.
If you don't clap for yourself because you are saying the truth, guess what? You won't know when you will end up with these liars who will be deceiving you. Carry your hand and put on your head and be praying one satanic prayer. You will find yourself doing that. So, carry go. Yeah? If you don't clap for yourself, you are still choosing not to clap for yourself. I didn't say clap for me. If I say clap for me now, you say it's peppering me. All I said, clap for yourself. To do that, somebody still say he has started again. He has started. How did I start? Other than tell you the truth. The next one, don't laugh when you see this, okay?
Okay, sir.
What are the next group of people we have in life?
Bacteria and viruses.
Bacteria and viruses.
I said, don't laugh. You two decide not to laugh. Now, who can guess who are bacteria or viruses? People of God now, I hope you are take that. I hope you are checking online, please.
Yes, sir.
Because I trust those my people over there. I should not even separate it. Okay. Let me separate. Okay?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, both of them are negative. Okay? But I've told you before, bacteria or bacteria or bacteriums. Bacteria is plural. I learned that. I think so.
Yes,
Am
sir.
I right saying the whole place?
Yes, sir. Bacteria is good.
So,
Bacteriums.
bacteria is alive, that's the difference, but viruses are dead. So I've separated them. Now, these are the 4 people in life when it comes to fruitfulness. I will start from what all of us know. Which are the queens and kings, which are people that are a fulfiller of their purpose. Both natural and spiritual. But natural is either as a man or woman, which is when you are a fulfiller of your purpose as a man, you are a king. As a woman, you are equal. And spiritually, when you are a fulfiller of your purpose as a flock, as a pastor, and as an handmaid, if you're a brother, you're a king too. I hope you got that. And if you are a sister, you're a queen. And this is your influence in life. Can you see that one of those numbers in the negative is greater than you?
Yes, sir.
Can everybody notice that, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you see the reason why I tell you that you can be fulfilling your purpose, but you don't have anything to show? Anytime you are fulfilling your purpose and you don't have anything to show, listen to me, people of God. There's a virus in your life. And this virus, they are not demons, they are people. That is why even though you are fulfilling your purpose, you are a man, you are a real fatherhood figure. You are a woman, you are a motherhood figure. Yet you don't have anything to show. In your marriage, in your family, in your profession, in your career. You are a flock, a pastor. A flock, your pastor is a faithful minister. A minister, you are telling people the truth 24/7. And you are an handmaid, making sure your faithful pastor is okay 24/7. But you don't have anything to show as a result. Anytime you're a king and queen or queen, I hope God's people, you are hearing me, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And you have nothing to show. This is the truth. I'm going to show you the scriptures. This is the truth of what is happening. Your faithfulness, please listen to me. Whenever you're faithful, it's only bacteria you can take out. It's only when you are around people. I think there's a fourth group of people. What color would I be? Don't laugh again, no, when you see this. I don't know what to call them, so I'm calling them zeros. What is the name I'm calling this group of people?
Zeros.
Who can guess? Let me see who is smarter. Who is smarter around us? When can you say somebody is a zero? Am I the only one in service?
No, sir.
Oh, yeah, now.
I think it's when someone is neither faithful or unfaithful.
It's not possible. You have to be faithful or unfaithful. There's nothing like that's not it. Christ says none of us is neutral. That's not it. That's why you are either a queen or a bacterium, or a king or a bacterium. A bacterium is any man or woman, flock, minister, or handmaid that is not faithful in their purpose. Consciously preaching truth. To the contrary, preaching lie. Those are bacteriums or bacteria. A flock consciously following a minister who is not preaching the truth or going against the one that is preaching the truth. Those are bacteria. A man that is not courting a queen or despising a queen, or a woman not responding to a king or trying to destroy a king, those are bacteria. So who are zeros? Yeah, those people now.
It's someone that doesn't know his value.
Come again, but with a little, just one slight modification to nail it. You are 95% close.
Oh, wow.
Hello, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
I think people that don't know what they are doing.
Beautiful. Because sometimes it might not just be don't know your own value. You might know your value, but you don't know what you are doing in the situation. But there is no way you can know what you are doing, yet you won't know your value. Yeah, that is it. Anybody that don't know what they are doing, they are zeros. That is when both a coin and a bacterium will affect you. You see another reason why I always tell you what you do after service is beyond me. Do you know why it's beyond me? Will I tell you why?
Yes.
As long as you are hearing me and you have had me minimum of 2 or 3 times, guess what?
What?
There's nothing you can ever, there's something in this time you can never be in your life again. You can never be zero again. Once you have had me, tell you the truth, minimum of 3 times, you can never be zero. And if you are hearing me today, you're a king, a queen, or a superwoman or a superman, congratulate yourself. It's not me that made it happen. You made it happen. All I did is to make sure you are no longer. Are you now beginning to see how these things work?
Yes, sir.
Should I tell you the truth? When we get to, you're going to witness, you're going to remember this service. You're going to remember 3rd of June 2020 when the reward comes. You will see that all of us ministers, the ones that God will say, welcome, my faithful servant, are the ones that will make sure no human being adds us and they remain zero. But with your mega grace, mega reward, mega faith, guess what? God will not call me. Because I've done my bit, you are not zero. That is why, for the supermen, superwomen among you, for the queens and king among you, guess what? It's you ever will clap for. Not me. Not me at all. A good example is the first martyr written in the scriptures, in the New Testament, Stephen. Did heaven stand up? Did Christ stand up for his pastors?
No, sir.
When Apostle James was beheaded by Herod, when it was time for Apostle Peter, all of them, did we record that Christ stood up?
No, sir.
The reason is because their job was to make sure people under them like Stephen were not zero. It was Stephen that made himself a superman. And let me tell you, if you choose, after make sure in your life you can never be zero again. That's why you can't change. It's lifestyle. Once you add me, means it's not because it's me. Any faithful minister, anybody telling you the truth, any real person in your life, if you're a woman, a king has come and either desire you or believe in you or caught you or put his life in your hand, you can no longer be zero again. If you're a man, you have come across a God-fearing woman, a woman that uses her common sense and has a loving heart, and you refuse to believe in her or cut her or put your life in her, you can never be zero again. That is the best anybody else can do in your life. That you will never be zero. That you never be zero. So don't think it's a Jide-Samuel thing. It's the truth thing, people of God. I hope you got that.
Yes, sir.
Good. So, yes, go ahead.
I didn't get super men and women. I didn't get that clarity.
People of God.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
People of God, oh.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, that's good.
Have I defined who superwomen or superwomen are?
No, sir.
No, you have not, sir.
All right.
Yes.
So that's your answer. Prophet, you are laughing. Your own is coming. Prophet, you did there. I say your own is coming. Because the scripture says that shall not rebuke an elder.
That's true.
As long as the person that you love, that the response is somebody that has had the ministry of the word before you. No matter how funny it is, you shouldn't have laughed. So let's move on, people of God. Okay. So we now know two of these, okay, even three, because I've defined coin and king, faithful. I've defined bacteria as unfaithful. And please, those people, realize that there are two kinds of bacteria. So there are two ways you are unfaithful. Either being faithful to the wrong or not faithful to the right. Did we get that?
Yes, sir.
Just something. Say, oh, please, is there anything worse than virus in organisms?
Not that I know.
Because I would have wanted to separate people that are unfaithful to the right from people that are faithful to the wrong. I would have wanted to separate that, but I will need something worse than a virus to give the people I'm calling virus. Okay. Or can somebody suggest a word, something that is very, very terrible? I think a beast is worse than virus. People of God, should we use beast?
I don't think so, sir. I think we can see viruses, so we can see this.
But since we are using it to describe, I'm just trying to ask, can the word, is the word beast, is it more serious than the word virus? People of God, are we still together, please?
We are together, sir.
Yes, sir. But I'm trying to find what a virus is. So what we now hear if using the beast will be
Okay. All right. What I would love to call viruses are people who are unfaithful to the right or to the truth. That's what I would have wanted to call virus. So that bacteria will be people who are faithful to the wrong. Because it's worse to be faithful to, no, it's worse to be unfaithful to the right than to be faithful to the wrong. My place.
What I did was I googled the types of infections.
Okay, ma'am.
So from what they said, there are 4 types of infections. There's bacterial,
Yes.
there's viral,
Okay.
there's fungal,
Okay.
there's prion. I don't know what that means. There's prion.
Okay. But is fungi, are they worse than viruses?
Okay, that's good. Maybe I'll check.
Okay, please help me check, ma'am. Let's appreciate Mama, people of God. She's helping us out here. Okay, there's a suggestion online. Okay.
Yes, the suggestion is.
Hold on, please. There's a suggestion online.
The suggestion is super viruses.
Super viruses. But because of the word virus is there, I'll prefer an entire word. You have said, what's your contribution?
I was going to suggest germs so that viruses will be at the other extreme. Then we have germ, bacteria, virus.
Aren't there all kinds of germs? Because Mama is trying to research, but Mama came up with fungi. Yeah. So she's trying to research whether fungi is higher than viruses. You got that?
Fungi are also living.
They are also living.
They are living.
But are they worse than bacteria? Or bacteria? There's other people, if you have a suggestion, come in over and suggest.
Can we say plague is any of this?
Plague, ba?
Yes, sir.
Be researching it too on your line, and that's what I'm actually doing here too.
All right.
I'm going on the net and comparing it, so I'm also trying to do that here too. So that I'm able to use words that are comparative. So let's all put our thinking together, since we are all researching the word together. But I hope everybody understand what I'm trying to do here, please. Do we all understand what I'm trying to do, please?
Yes, sir. Another suggestion, sir. What about protozoan?
That's so complex.
That's complex. You know, we didn't go to school. Anything that is too advanced, let it be something everybody can relate to. Just something that is more negative. Since we are talking about negative things here, just anything that is more negative. Any progress, hospital?
Hello, sir.
Yes, go ahead, Prophet.
I think from Mama's suggestion, so from the online now, these are the three most common fungi, virus, and bacteria.
Okay, but which of them is worse?
The worst from here is virus.
Virus.
Yes.
So virus is worse than the fungi.
Yes.
Bacteria.
We are talking about three. Which one is the worst? Is it fungi or bacteria or virus?
Virus.
Virus, right? But it's fungi worse than bacteria.
From what they are saying, it's as if
Virus is the worst.
It's worse than bacteria.
Virus is the worst.
Okay, so
but between bacteria and fungi, what they said is that both bacteria and fungi can cause human infections.
okay.
But serious bacterial diseases occur more frequently than serious fungal infections. Okay.
No, that one is just talking about frequency.
Okay, that's
which one is more deadly is what we are.
okay.
So, because I want us to use facts so that we won't run. What's the word self? We won't run into a hitch of using so that we defend the truth when we are sharing with people. I hope we are still together, people of God, please.
Yes, sir. Very well, sir.
All right. So, do we stick to that arrangement of viruses being the worst, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Viruses are
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you for that, everybody. So, will you now appreciate yourself? You still don't want to appreciate yourself. Now, so let me now get back to where we were. Let me go again. Okay, that's a question.
No,
Yeah.
subject.
So just so go ahead.
We have the person said super bugs, viral infections, then fungus at the least, like it's supporting what you just said.
Okay. So, all right. Can we move on, people of God, please?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, we know who zeros are. Okay? Zeros are people who don't know what they are doing. Like if we read Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, I've told us before, and if you read it, let's go there, people of God. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, there are two things the scripture says here through prophet Hosea. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. It says, we God's people, because God is the one talking and he used the word my people. Okay? He's not talking about the devil's people. Look at the first part. He said, my people are what?
Destroyed.
My people are destroyed for what? Lack of knowledge. This is talking about when you are a zero. What is this talking about?
When I'm
When
in zero.
I'm zero.
When you're a zero, that is what this is talking about. When you're a zero. That's what it's talking about. Now, why is that a problem? When you're a zero, you will be like that other part of Proverbs 22, verse 16, which we started from. In the sense that you are going to give your prosperity away to somebody else. Do you understand why zero is there? And super people, super men and women, kings and queens, they don't take advantage of zeros. But let me tell you, when you are a zero, you are at the mercy of bacteria, you are at the mercy of fungi, you are at the mercy of viruses. What did I say? When you are a zero.
I'm at the mercy of bacteria, fungi, and viruses.
Now, remember in those group of people table that we have, you have a group of people that are called transactional. Remember?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, transactional people, they are zeros. In the sense that they don't hurt you. They are only doing their own thing. But that cannot stop you from being at the mercy of funny people. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Now, going back to what I was saying earlier, anytime you're a king or queen, please listen to this. Anytime you're a king or queen, and you don't have results to show for what is happening in your life, is a sign that there is a virus. Your faithfulness to your purpose can only take out, or not be a blessing to zeros, but take out bacteria and fungi. Are you getting with me, people of God?
Yes, sir.
Now, why is that so? I go with the definition again. Zeros will understand. Kings and queens will understand, faithful people. Bacteria are people who are faithful to the wrong. What does it bacteria are?
People who are faithful to the wrong.
People who are faithful to the
And why is it negative to be faithful to the wrong? Because the just shall live by his or our own faith. That is why, if you are smiling today, if you are excited today, ask yourself, that thing that is making you excited, make sure it's the right thing in your life, so that you won't end up being a bacteria. Bacteria you see here is a minus. In fact, the only person that you are better than in life, when you are faithful to the wrong, the only person you are better than in life is an ignorant person. Who is the only person you are better than when you are faithful to the wrong?
An ignorant person.
It's only an ignorant person. It's only an ignorant person if you write an exam with that person that you will pass the exam above that person. If you are seeking a job with that person, and if you are married to that person, that's the only person you will prosper than. Are you with me? It's only an ignorant person. You will not see the reason why. You see in a marriage, the man will be a nice person, but he won't prosper. But the woman is horrible, yet she's prospering. It's a sign that the man is ignorant. Are you seeing it now?
Yes, sir.
You are following somebody as pastor. He is prospering, you are not prospering. It shows that you are ignorant. Unless he's a fulfiller of his purpose. You get it? But once he's not a fulfiller, he's not a king or queen. He's telling you a lie, yet he's still more prosperous than you. It's your ignorance that makes him rich. That is why people are going to listen to this. I'm telling you the truth. Listen, don't waste your life over believing a lie. If you are in any form of relationship with somebody who is not faithful, you are working for somebody who is not a faithful boss. You are married to somebody, either as a man or woman, who is not a king or queen. You are following a pastor who is not faithful. Or you are pastoring as a pastor people that are not faithful, following you as well. And yet that other person is prospering, you are not. Take it from me, people of God. It's because you are ignorant. Do you know why?
Why, sir?
0 plus minus 2. What is the answer?
Minus 2.
Plus
0 plus minus 11, what's the answer?
Minus 11.
0 plus minus 1009, what's the answer?
Minus
Minus
1,009.
1,009.
But listen to me, and listen good. 0 times minus 2, what's the answer?
0.
Minus is
Zero times is 0.
The answer is 0.
0. 0 times any number is 0.
That is why that person is prospering, you will not. That person takes your 0, you take the person's minus. You now see the reason why. Can you see? Holy Spirit, you are too much. Do you see how you now understand Hosea chapter 4 verse 6 now? What made you to be destroyed because you are 0? You are ignorant. You will take the bacteria, the minus 2 of the bacteria you are in relationship with. The minus 11 of the fungus you are in relationship with. The minus 1009 of the virus you are in relationship with. Guess what? That person will be elevated to your 0. Faithful people. No answer.
Yes.
Faithful people. So you are not faithful people again. I didn't pray for you. Now which one is in there? I said faithful people. You know no one answer.
Yes, sir.
So I should call you virus.
No.
Fungus.
No, sir.
Bacterium. Before you answer. Okay, coins.
Sorry, sir, it's breaking, sir.
Okay, man. But can you hear clearly now? Is the audio better? Can all the centers hear very well?
Yeah, for now, yes, sir.
Okay. I hope all the other centers are hearing very well, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Should I go back to the addition and the multiplication for us to understand Hosea chapter 4 verse 6? Pardon, prophet?
I said it's a little bit better now. It was
Just a little bit.
broken earlier.
How about now? So let me just step back a little. 0 plus minus 2, what's the answer?
Minus 2.
Minus 2.
0 plus minus 11, what's the answer?
Minus
Minus
11.
11.
Minus
0 plus minus 1009, what's the answer?
Minus 1,009.
minus
And I said, any relationship you are in, whether you the pastor pastoring somebody who is not faithful, or you are the flock pastor following a minister who is not preaching the truth, or you are a king not married to a non-queen, or you are a queen married to a non-king, or you are a king or queen working for a non-king or queen, or you are a king or queen that employed and paid the salary of a non-king and queen. And that non-king and queen is prospering, yet you are not. Please listen to me. You think you're a king, you are not. You are actually 0. You are actually ignorant. It's your ignorance that is making the person to be blessed. And what now happens to you is the multiplication. Sorry, what happens to them is the multiplication. What happens to you is the addition. Are you getting it now?
Yes, sir.
That is why you will become -2, -11, or -1009. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
They will now become 0. That is why you see many men, the way African tradition, Nigeria, and this religion preaches marriage. Please listen to me. African tradition, culture, custom, and religion, every religion, they're not just African, they raise men to be zeros. Sorry, they raise women to be zeros. The way African culture, African tradition, African custom, and the religions of this world, they encourage women to be what? Zeros. Did you get that, people of God,
Yes,
please?
sir.
Yes.
Did you get that, people of God, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But listen to me, people of God. An average man out there, independent of religion, culture, tradition, custom. Please listen to this, people of God. An average man out there is a bacterium or a fungus or a virus. That is why, unless you marry based on the scriptures, unless your marriage is an example of this truth I'm sharing with you, listen to me, sisters.
Yes, sir.
That marriage, you will never, your life is already reached a stagnant. You can never prosper beyond how you were before you married. But go and check, that man will keep on prospering. It's because you are ignorant. You were raised to be a zero. That is why immediately you married. In fact, don't be surprised if he's the one that even will employ you.
That's true.
Don't even be surprised if he's the one that will have money to set you up. Meanwhile, that grace came from you. So that is what the first act of my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge means. The reason why you are a -2 today, -11, despite the fact that you're a nice person, is because you are ignorant of what I'm sharing with you, people of God. That is why, if you're a pastor, pastoring people who are not following you as pastor, you are a zero. You are ignorant. There is going to be a role exchange. Are we together, people of God, please?
Yes, sir.
People of God, are we still together? Let's switch to the backup now. That one doesn't need any. Just sit down to me, then I will switch to the backup, okay? And if the Bayana is up,
Yes, sir.
switch to Bayana, please. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Are you on the Bayana now?
Yes, sir.
How about social media? So I hope everybody can hear me good now, please.
Yes.
These people of God, can everybody hear me good, please? I need to know. We need to know that the network is okay where you are, please. hope everybody hear me very well, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. And you can see what I'm sharing on the screen as well, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can see.
Okay. So let me explain again what all these figures mean, please. What these figures mean is that whether you're a pastor, pastoring, you are fulfilling in God your purpose, but you are the people you are pastoring, they are not fulfilling, yet they are prospering, you are not. Or you are following a minister as pastor who is not telling you the truth, he is prospering, you are not. I have somebody you are following now.
Yes, sir.
You are a man, you are married to a non-queen, she is prospering, you are not. You are a sister, you are married to a non-king, he is prospering, you are not. You are a king or queen working for a non-king or queen, that person is prospering, the company is prospering, you are not. Or you employed a non-king or queen, and they are prospering as your staff that you're paying, but you are not. Your company is not moving forward. The reason for that is because you are ignorant. Did we get that now, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And that is what Hosea chapter 4 verse 6 is talking about when he says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. How we got that, people of God?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I now explained it practically this way. For you that you are ignorant, when you are in any form of relationship with people who are either faithful to the wrong or unfaithful, which is the definition of a fungi, unfaithful to the right, or let me not tell you who a virus is. Anybody, how many bodies, please?
Anybody.
Who is a supporter? Who is a supporter of anybody being ignorant of being a bacterium or a fungus? I repeat, anybody that do everything to keep you ignorant or be a bacterium or be a fungus, that person is a virus. Such people are worse than people who are actually faithful to the wrong or unfaithful to the right. You now understand who a virus is now.
Yes, sir.
Do we understand who a virus is?
Yes, sir.
People of God, do we understand who a virus is, please? I said anybody, instead of helping people out of their ignorance, instead of helping people out from being a bacterium, or helping people not to become a fungus, but rather do everything to keep them, you are evil, you are a virus. You are the second part of Hosea chapter 4 verse 6, which says, because you have rejected knowledge, I also will reject you. You will no more be priest to me. See that you have forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget anything that has your DNA. That is why there are people today, either out of envy, you didn't know you have become worse than the person you are trying to destroy. Because instead of telling them the truth, many of us, because we don't want people to be angry with us, we tell them a lie. Let me tell you, people of God, please listen to this. I hope everybody is getting this. This is important, please. I hope everybody is getting this, please.
Yes.
People of God, are we there, please?
Yes, sir.
Any time that instead of telling people the truth, instead of letting people know they are faithful to the wrong, instead of helping people not to be unfaithful to the right, you encourage them, you take advantage, you keep them in that state, you are a virus. And look at the rating. When you are faithful in your purpose, when you're a king or queen, either naturally or spiritually, but things are not adding up, you don't have anything to show. Please, people of God, know this truth. There is a virus in your life. Look at that, people of God.
Yes, sir.
Because with your faithfulness, even if you're in a relationship with an ignorant person, even if you're in a relationship with somebody who is faithful to the wrong, if you're in a relationship with somebody that's unfaithful to them, it cannot affect you. But if you're in any form of communion with a virus, it will affect you. This is what the scriptures meant when it says, evil communications corrupt what? Good manners. He didn't say unfaithful communication. He didn't say wrong communication. He didn't say ignorant communication. He said evil communication. Because viruses are already dead. And God is light. In him there is what? No darkness. Nothing can come out of any relationship with a virus in your life. Nothing. And let's explain it the other way. When you are in a relationship with zero, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
101 plus 0, what is the answer? 101. You are still going to retain your 101. When you are in a relationship with a bacteria, you are still going to retain 99 out of 101. When you are in a relationship with a fungi, you are still going to retain 90. Are you getting it? Mm-hmm. But people of God, take quickly, do your arithmetic. Take 101 out of 1009. That is how you are going to clash. That is how you will think you are not fulfilling your purpose. I hope we got that, people of God. Yes. I know this is setting somebody free. Life is about lost people. The way God uses people, Satan too uses people. The way God cannot access you directly without using you and another person to get to you. The same way to Satan cannot access you, either using you and another person directly. And what is happening to us today is our faith of yesterday in ourselves and in other people. That is why be a king or queen. But let me tell you, there are some super people out there. Let me tell you who are super men and super women. And I want to believe I'm talking to supermen and superwomen today. Do you know who are supermen and superwomen?
No, sir.
They are not just king and queens. No. They are kings and queen plus. They are not satisfied with they fulfilling their purpose. They are ready to encourage, to be a blessing to any man around them or any woman around them, so that they too will be a king, queen. A superman, a superwoman is somebody that when they meet anybody that is zero, they tell them the truth. Superwomen and supermen don't take advantage of ignorant people. They are the one that will tear their clothes when an ignorant person wants to worship them. Say, don't worship me. Your knees should never go down. This is what I was saying, that an average man out there, because of religion, because of African, Nigerian culture, custom, tradition, is actually a virus. Because you see some men, they prey on the fact that an average woman is raised to be ignorant of who she is. When you take advantage of ignorant people, when you take advantage of people who are faithful to the wrong, when you don't want to hurt their feelings, you don't tell them the truth. You don't tell them that, oh boy, this woman you are putting your life inside, she's not a queen material. Save your life and move on. You don't tell the woman the truth, that this person you are lifting up is not a king material. This pastor that you are following is not telling you the truth. You don't tell the pastor that this person you are releasing your grace is not following you as pastor. Once you are like that, you're a virus. And when you are not content with being a fulfiller of your purpose, or you are ready for your iron to sharpen other people's iron, that you stand for justice, which is what I was saying. Do you know that last weekend, a girl in her prime, just starting her life, was raped to death in a Tower of Babel called a church building, where she went to go and study. How many people has gone on the street in Nigeria? Yet everybody is talking about what is going on. And do you know some evil women had the effrontery to say she must have done something to make her to be raped? Imagine. Those are the kind of viruses. I pity people are children to such women who talk like that. I pity men who marry such women. See, people of God, I repeat this. Take these numbers and levels down. These are the maybe this. I don't notice that it's 6 now. Maybe that's why 6 is the number of man again. Those. These are the 6 people on earth relative to faithfulness. After the service, I'll give you, I'll put it in the chat form so that you'll be able to, but take it down before then. Don't just be content to be a king or queen. Be a superman, be a superwoman. Are you with me, people of God?
Yes, sir.
Be part of those laborers that God has sent to this world to deliver people. All of us are in ministry of reconciliation. Don't just be content that you have a good marriage. Make sure everybody in your family, in your place of work, in your neighborhood, they all have good marriages. Don't say because you got it wrong, everybody too should get it wrong. That makes you a virus. What you have gone through, don't let somebody else go through it, since it's a wrong path you have gone. You see me, I tell you some of these truths, I learned it in a painful way. But I knew that the way to be a superman is when I warn you there's danger ahead. Don't go that route. How we got these people of God, please?
Yes, sir.
So let's proceed to our updates, please. Our updates today, you might find it interesting. I wanted to get all of you with the help of the Holy Spirit to get to that point where we are all good students of God's word, okay? Remember last service, the update from Divine Feast is I showed you how what starts as number one from God is number last with us. Based on the scripture that says that what is first with God is last with man, okay? And what is last with man is what is first with God. I hope we all remember that, people of God.
Yes.
So this is what this chat today is about. Now you see so many columns, but you see some columns, 3 are in blue, and you see 2 are in red. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The 2 that are in red are the hierarchy of how Godhead is and anything in the realm of the spirit. Where the thumb is the greatest. That's what is in red. Those ones that are in blue are the one that the same thumb is the least. That's why you say I put the percentage there. For all those hands in red, you see that the thumb has the highest influence, 33%, followed by the warning finger, the first finger, 27%, followed by the middle finger, which is 20%, followed by the fourth finger, the low finger, 13%, and the little finger, 7%. But the one in blue is reversed. The influence of the little finger is 33%. Followed by the low finger, 27%, followed by the middle finger, which is the same, 20% for both. Then the warning finger, the first finger, 13%, and the thumb for the blue hand is 7%. Now, why is this important? It's important so that if you are in crisis today, you can know why you are in crisis. If you are not in crisis, you'll be able to preserve. How we are getting the people of God. Preserve the victory that you have. That's why this is very important. And I'll give you an example. Look at the hand of grace, which is red. Of course, in the hand of grace, which is red, the Godhead, that is our Heavenly Father, Christ, Holy Spirit, the Word of God I'm preaching with you, and eternal life. That's how they go in that order. What does that mean? What you getting through eternal life, God's word I'm sharing with you is greater. God's word that I'm sharing with you, whatever you get, the power of the Holy Spirit is greater. Whatever you are getting with the power of the Holy Spirit, the will of God in Christ, your purpose which is in Christ, is greater. But the greatest is our Heavenly Father, which is reflected in the truth. Are you seeing how you interpret the table you have now in your study?
Yes.
Are we getting it now?
Yes, sir.
But let's take an example of the blue hand. Okay? where the little finger is the lowest, sorry, the greatest. And I use Adam's hand, that is adult human. Remember, we had that on Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Even though the male body is thumb, is fatherhood, and you sisters, you are the warning finger, motherhood. The greatest part of us is that offspring, our emotions. Listen for a moment, people of God. All the trouble we are having with the governments of this world, is it not an emotional thing?
It is. Oh.
All the things that pastors are preaching on pulpit that we all think is the truth, is it not an emotional thing?
It's an emotional thing.
You're not doing enough. Just that everybody.
Okay, sir. Thank you. You come.
I mean, you are not kind.
Yes, sir.
Is that you?
Yes, sir.
I thought you would call everybody now.
I think she was looking for the call.
Let me just call from them.
Okay, sir.
Just have called everybody now. He says I'm the only person who is quite in the group. I'm in the group.
Okay, sir.
They didn't give you that option. That
He
you
just
couldn't.
brought it.
Yeah, accept. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
So I hope we can see me at your end now, people of God.
Yes.
Amen. I'm not seeing it. Okay. So going back to where we were before we had the knockout again. I was using an example of the blue hand where the little finger is the greatest. Okay? And I use the parts of adult human being which we examine on Sunday. How we are getting it, please?
Yes, sir.
How we are getting it, please?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you please go over, sir? It was breaking.
Which part should I go over?
I understood it up till the point of the Father unto eternal life. I didn't get it.
I said the red columns, they are ants, they are all ants, okay? But the one that is red, the greatest entity is the tongue. That's why I put the percentage in your table. So I just use one of the red and one of the chart is self-explanatory. That's why I put the percentage to tell us that once it's blue, for example, now the part of man, the greatest is our emotion, the little finger. That's why it is blue. You get it? The little finger in blue is the part that is either gender, either male or female at every point. That's the greatest part of all. And that was why I asked that the problems of this one, is it not an emotional thing?
It's an emotional thing.
Is it not an emotional thing, people of God?
It is.
It is, sir.
Is it that you cannot hear me? I said, is it not an emotional thing, all the problems of this world?
They are.
It is, sir.
Is it not an emotional thing when somebody says, is it not an emotional thing when somebody says that don't use face mask because it's to control world population?
Sir.
Is it not an emotional thing
It is, sir.
when somebody is elected in the democracy to office of president, the person believes they should be a king, authoritarian? Is it not an emotional thing that a woman, a God-fearing woman, is a cook, is a baby factory, is a sex object? Is it not an emotional thing?
It is, sir.
And that's why you will see, despite the fact that people are knowledgeable, they still believe these things. Because they allow the wrong thing to get to their emotions. It's emotions that is the most powerful. Another example, look at the church, that's another blue. The most powerful people in the body of Christ are handmaids, followed by the flock. I told you about that. Many pastors will not tell you this. The grace on you as a flock or handmaid is higher than the grace on me, the pastor. That's why I told you that if I'm, as a man and as a pastor, if I'm in any form of relationship or fellowship or communion with a woman, I'm at the mercy of the kind of person that woman is. I'm at the mercy of the kind of person that flock or handmaid is. Because of this, I hope you can, people of God, you can understand how to interpret this table now.
Yes, sir.
People of God, are you with me, please?
Yes, sir.
So let me have your questions if there's any. Please let me have your question if there's any, please. Any question from Colorado Springs? Any question on social media?
Not yet, sir.
Can Uyo, can anybody hear me out there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, So, is there any question from your end?
Not for now.
Not for now, sir.
Any question from you, please?
No, sir.
All right. Okay. Since there's no question, I want to believe that all of us got a good grasp of this, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, like the scripture encourages us, let's be a doer of the word, not hearers only. Okay? Deceiving our own selves. So whenever you come to any area of your life, find out, is it on the red column or the blue column? For every entity you come across in life, they always reflect those five of our Heavenly Father. It's now for you to know whether the tomb is the greatest or the least. Do you understand that, please?
Yes, sir.
That is why when you look at it now, look at the Adam's group. There is no way a tradition that says, or a religion that says that your husband figure is higher than you. There's nothing like that. The grace on you, the motherhood grace on you, sisters, is greater than the fatherhood grace on every man. What did I just say, people of God?
The motherhood grace on me is greater than the fatherhood of any man.
On me and your sister, Father, grace on everyone.
And that's why I want to make a recommendation to the sisters. I hope you are listening.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm talking to two categories of sisters. If as I'm talking now, you are single, that is, maybe you have never married, or you are separated or divorced, or widowed. Henceforth, if you want me to believe I'm your pastor, be self-sufficient in yourself financially. Any man that comes to you henceforth, tell them you are not married yet, or you are not getting married yet, because you want to have your own money. You understand that,
Yes,
people of
sir.
God?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And for you, sisters who are married now, start releasing your faith to have your own money. Okay? Start releasing your faith. And for the two groups of sisters, feel free. As long as I'm your pastor, I'm sure that you are going to have that support base from me. Because we are supposed to be salt of the earth and light of the world. We need to restore this world order. That being a woman does not mean you should not be self-sufficient. Being married does not mean you should not have your own money. Being married does not mean you cannot bring things into your own house. You cannot enjoy technology. You cannot without having to get permission. Because you are not created to be a slave. You are created to be a queen. Motherhood, and go and check it. A queen doesn't need a king to be a queen, but there is no king that can be a king without a queen. Fatherhood needs motherhood, but motherhood does not need fatherhood. And until you start living the way God says you should live. And somebody say, why am I starting with the woman? Because you start with natural. By the time all of you sisters that are following as I follow Christ, ourselves of them, will now upgrade to spiritual, then I will make the same stand. That as long as I'm your pastor and you are a flock, and you are an handmaiden, you must be richer, be more independent in all areas, but especially financially, than me, your pastor. You understand where we're going?
Yes, sir.
So, but we're starting with the natural. So I hope you're okay with me, sisters,
Yes,
with my
sir.
recommendation.
Very okay, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
So have a wonderful evening. We all see again on Sunday.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome.